Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today, we're talking about your relationship with food, exercise, and your body. And I'm going to start with relatable struggles we go through with our food and exercise, just to highlight what it means to struggle with your eating, your exercise habits, and your body. I'm going to start with your body. Ever struggle with the part of you, maybe you've gained weight, or you already feel like you gained weight, and the weekend comes, you're eating, and then the next week you're feeling really bloated. You feel like you look at yourself in the mirror, it's like, I'm just gaining weight. I hate the way my body looks. I hate my stomach. I hate my arms. In Nigeria, we call it Christian mother hand. I hate my arms. I hate my body. I hate my chin. You just find something about your body to hate, and it's like it gets for some people it gets so intense we start to cover up or withdraw, or we don't even know we're doing that because we don't feel confident enough in our bodies. Another thing that might cause this is that you do not feel your body is strong enough, or that your body is healthy enough, because you know you're not exercising and you're not really eating the best possible foods. Maybe you're not sleeping well, maybe you're stressed out and you're feeling all over the place. You're feeling bloated, you're feeling fat, you're feeling tired, and you just simply hate the way your body looks. And sometimes it gets worse when you're looking in the mirror and you're like, this is my body, something has to be done, but somehow you don't do anything, and then you feel even more guilty. So your body image is always taking a dive every morning, and you would think that when you look in the mirror and you feel all these things, you make that decision, okay, I am not going to eat processed food anymore. And then during the day or later at night, you find yourself really eating all those processed food because you really want to eat them. You're craving them. You're like, I'm just fat. I'm not hurting anybody, right? And that's one mindset that I want to really address. That mindset of you only have to eat healthy foods or certain food because you want to lose weight. And if you're not trying to lose weight, what's the benefit of exercising or eating any particular food or trying to take care of your body? Okay, when I come to the relationship we have with exercising, the same thing I just said. A lot of us do not exercise because we feel like exercise is just for shaping your body to look a certain way, and it's not. Many of us, we've been, or a lot of us, if you're on social media, you're fed this idea that you exercise so you fix your body, so you're strong, so you're this, and it's like, I'm okay the way I am. I'm not trying to lose fat. I'm not trying to be strong, so I'm just going to do anything. And sometimes when we now dive into exercise and we do the hardest possible stuff because we want to just get it out of the way, it's like we relate with exercise as if exercise and it's just something you do to fix your body quickly so you can continue living your life. That is a very negative approach to exercise. And sometimes another toxic relationship, it's toxic, I would call it toxic. Another relationship would have the exercise might also look like not feeling like you're exercising enough, so you're always just pushing yourself to do even harder exercises, always just pushing yourself to do more. Even when you're tired, you're like, just pull yourself and just move and move. And there's something that I realized from coaching clients and also with my own experiences, that on those days where you're extremely tired, you're stressed out, and then you pull yourself out of bed to go exercise in that usual way you're used to, the whole high intensity interval exercises, or maybe you want to hit PR, or maybe you want to really lift heavy. One of the worst decisions you can make is going into an exercise program feeling really tired, feeling really exhausted, feeling really stressed out, and trying to push yourself. Ever had that feeling? It's like a dread kind of feeling where you're like, this is too painful, this is too hard, this cannot be my exercise life, this cannot be the only way to be healthy. And it's really frustrating because you're not looking forward to exercising tomorrow, right? And I'm going to come to the last one about food. A lot of us have developed an unhealthy relationship with food because of years of dieting, of years of consuming dieting information from different people, from different unqualified people, from different influencers, from peers, from family. from maybe a random person that has exercised their whole life, and maybe they're lean because they exercise and they're like, this is what works. I don't eat this, I don't eat this, I don't eat this. So when it comes to food, we have this food guilt, right? Where you're not eating a certain way, where you're not eating a certain way, where you maybe when you are enjoying a particular meal and you start to feel guilty because it's not the standard of the meal of a supposed healthy person. Maybe you want to lose weight, you've always wanted to lose weight. It's like it's there in your mind, like I want to lose weight, right? And you decide to cut out a particular meal. Okay, so you decide to cut out a particular meal, and it's like, you really crave this meal, you don't know what to do. Crave you because you've cut it out, and after a while you find yourself just eating this food day after day, and you might think, okay, I'm just going to eat it today and I'm not going to eat it anymore, and then tomorrow you find yourself eating it again, and then the next day. And the funny thing is that you're not even eating in small amounts, you're really eating in big amounts, right? And we have also have relationship with food. When we feel guilty for eating processed food, we cut it out. When we feel shame for eating food, when we feel fat after eating certain foods. And these three things work together: food, exercise, and your body. They all intertwine and affect each other. Maybe you don't exercise, so you start to feel fat, or maybe when you go to exercise, you start to feel sad. I cannot do this exercise, I cannot move that way. However, fitness is different for different people at different times. Even as women, our level of strength is different in different different phases of our cycles. So it's really interesting what your body can do if you understand what your body can do. And when you start to relate your body in a more intentional way, your body image improves regardless of your size, and that's one of the reasons I'm making these videos. So stay tuned. I'm a fitness and nutrition coach. I'm currently undergoing coaching and training to get my certification as a nutritionist. I'm a certified personal trainer, and I specialize in helping you heal your relationship with food, exercise, and your body. And the reason I do this is because at first I used to just train people on fat loss, give you certain meal plans and a program to do. But one of the problems I encountered is that, okay, yeah, it's easy to lose weight, it's easy to put someone on a calorie deficit and to get results, but them not having the knowledge and the education behind to sustain their results is where the problem is. And when I've started to find out that even personally for me, I had a disordered relationship with food, was the periods where exercising and food started to hurt me instead. It started to affect me mentally. On the days when I'm not able to exercise as I would want to, I find that I feel really guilty for being tired, for being stressed out, for not, I wouldn't eat enough because I'm trying to be really lean. And also, I would push myself to exercise. Having an unhealthy relationship with food, it looks different in different seasons. I was at a point in my life where I was really stressed out, but I was still really obsessed with what my body looks like, and I was eating as little as possible. I was was over exercising. I was walking, 15 to 20,000 steps a day. I was lifting really heavy. I would eat once or two times a day. I was really skinny, but I was really stressed out. I wasn't sleeping well. My body was in pain. I was just not happy any day, because how could I be happy? I wasn't eating enough nutrients. I wasn't getting in enough nutrients. I wasn't getting in enough food for my body, for my cell to function properly. I wasn't getting enough sleep because I wasn't eating well. I was over exercising, so I was stressed out, so I couldn't sleep well. It's a cycle. It affects everything you do. So this is why it's really important. Even before you start to exercise, you have to address your food, your hydration, your sleep, your stress management, to be able to get your body ready to exercise. And that is why I am making this video, and we'll get right into it. So there are certain signs you have to know, and it looks different for everybody, what your relationship with food and exercise is. The first very obvious one, if you're the type that says, I am not an exercise person, so I don't exercise, it's too hard, it's too frustrating, then it's really important to know that you have a negative idea of what exercise is and how to exercise. Many a times we start to exercise with the hard things in mind. We just go into strength training without really checking in with ourselves and knowing if we are ready to get into fitness. And I really want to address this. Fitness and health, they are two different things, but they work hand in hand. Most of the time, we think fitness is health, and we think health is fitness. Health is simply checking your blood pressure, checking your heart rate, checking your breathing pattern, your sleep. That is to know if you're healthy, and if all those things are good, then we can now go into strength training and fitness, where you start to look at your movement, your stability, your mobility, your ability to do the little things without gassing out, your aerobic fitness. So you see, these two things, if one malfunctions, the other one could malfunction. They work hand in hand. So sometimes we ignore health and go straight into fitness, and we know we cannot keep up with fitness. So we'll come back to health, and then it's like, okay, we are not fit, and it's like we are going through and through, never really bringing them together to create a whole wellness. That is what wellness is. When you're healthy and you're fit and every other thing just comes into place, then you're well enough, you're happy enough, your quality of life is improved. That is why exercise and food are non-negotiables when it comes to self-care. So if you're really approaching self-care, you're not exercising, you're not nourishing your body right, you're not sleeping right, you're not hydrating, and your heart rate is constantly on the rise, so you're not managing stress, your wellness is on a balance. It's not on a balance, so it's shaky. So you have to address that first before we start talking about fitness. So common signs that you have an unhealthy relationship with food: you hate exercising, and then you're not eating well, you like a whole lot of sugar, you don't like vegetables. That approach, that mindset that vegetable is not fun and sugar is life, you already have a way of eating. Another thing is thinking you will have to eat only grains all the time. You're not a vegetarian, but you're really obsessed with eating healthy, and you feel like if you're not eating healthy in this way, and your body is messed up. So a lot of times I've seen people that feel really guilty when they eat processed food, then they start to think, okay, once I eat this food now, it's unhealthy. Morals, like we connect our morals to food, and we start to think, okay, I have to eat this way, if not I'm bad, if not I'm shameful. Another thing is not being able to balance exercise. Sometimes we over exercise. Some people over exercise, and that is an unhealthy relationship with exercise, especially when you know it's stressing you out, it's killing you, you're in pain, but you're pushing through the pain. One sad thing I see all the time when I go to the gym is a lot of people are on knee bands, on ab belts, on a lot of bands, because they're lifting 100 kgs and 200 kg, and that defeats the purpose of exercise. If you're not able to move, if you are not able to move well, you don't have to put a weight on it. If you have pain on your knees when you're moving, adding extra weight on it, it's making your body worse. If you cannot do a body weight squat very well without feeling a discomfort, and you put a weight on it, you're making it worse. That is why we end up with knee pains. We end up with bands. It's not healthy. It's going to make you hate exercising later, because when you get to the point where you're not able to move well, you're constantly in pain, exercise is going to feel like a horrible sport. So you start with simple movements. And I said first, you start with your health. Make sure your health is in order. When you start to drink water, eat nourishing foods, do gentle movements, you're sleeping well, then you can now start with strength training. And before you go into strength training, you have to check your mobility, your stability, you're able to balance. Your stability is your ability to balance. Maybe you start balance on one foot, balance on another foot, then you can do a squat, and then you look at your squat. I know it seems like, oh, it's a lot, but if you go through this process, you're more likely to sustain your lifetime of exercise, and you're more likely to enjoy it because you start to see tangible results on exercise. You start to enjoy the quality of your life, and it translates to coming back to exercise more often. And because you're coming back to more exercise more often, either you want to lose weight, either you want to gain weight, whatever, it's going to start to show itself, say 2-3 months down the line. So is anybody telling you you're going to lose weight in 2 days without going to the gym is not healthy. That is an unhealthy approach to food, and it could lead to a disordered way of eating, right? And many people struggle with this. Many people struggle with the fear of eating because they're scared of gaining weight. Some people have restricted and lost weight. If you have restricted and lost weight, and then you're scared to eat food because you're scared you gain the weight back. A lot of people have lost weight in the past and ended up gaining it back, and they're really demotivated. They don't want to exercise anymore. They feel like, what's the point? I get this a lot. Let me just give birth. When I'm done giving birth, and then I can start to exercise. But there are wonders of exercise that goes beyond your body composition. And actually, it is really important to make peace with exercise and learn to move your body before you can start to build body composition. And I know when I say this, it starts to feel like it's going to take a long time to get my result. But it's going to take a long time to help you build the foundations first, get the education you need to get to where you want to. Because we hear this information, when I hear people talk about exercise and say, exercise is not for me, I'm going to the gym, I'm going to die, or I'm like, I'm doing this exercise, is hard, we die on top. They say, using those negative emotions to talk about exercise, and you would never enjoy it. I've had a client once tell me, people say exercise makes you feel good, but I've never felt good exercising, and I can really relate, because just today I was exercising. I had not eaten, right? Okay, I'd eaten just once today. So I was doing a strength training exercise, really serious leg lower body workouts, and I started to feel a sort of way. I started to feel really tired. I started to shake a lot. I started to feel dizzy, almost nauseous, right? And I was thinking about it. Why am I feeling this way? The old me would have started questioning my existence. I used to say, okay, is this how I'm going to exercise for the rest of my life? Exercising is too hard. It's not worth it. I'm not looking forward to tomorrow. And being a fitness trainer, it was personal for me, because I felt like, if I don't enjoy exercising, how will I keep up with this work, right? And it's part of the things that people go through. I have a lot of clients that are like, okay, I don't enjoy exercise one bit. What are we going to do about it? But if you understand the meaning behind the exercising you're doing, if you understand the meaning behind the movement, why you have to move, it has to be personal for you. And that is why when people say, what is your why? That is your why. It has to be personal. If it's not personal to you, you're just doing random exercises because that model looks good. So let me do this exercise because YouTube recommended it and the person doing it looks good, and it's like, okay, let's do it because my body is going to become that way. And we forget the wonders of exercise, and other than what your body looks like, the quality of life. And as you age, you start to appreciate the quality of life, the joy movement brings. Movement automatically changes your mood. If you are just right now, as I'm talking about this, and you're feeling really tired, really frustrated, really sad, you're thinking about your existence, just go outside on a walk and allow fresh air. Just go on a walk. you'll start to see that your perspective about the same problem you had being indoors with the walls around you is going to change. You're going to start to feel like there's hope, there's possibility, because movement changes the way you think. It changes your thought pattern, and it's amazing it does that. And there's so many other beautiful things that movement does. It strengthens you, it makes you stronger, and from strength comes energy, and the more you move, the more energy you have, right? But it takes you moving well so you can move often, and that is not what we're talking about here. All right, so now, how do you do to heal all this relationship with food? What do you do to heal your relationship with your body, exercise, and your food? To heal a body image takes time. To heal your relationship with exercise takes time. To heal your relationship with food takes time. Just like with other healing, it takes time. It takes allowing yourself to eat those foods you've demonized and said, this food is not for me, it is wrong, it's guilty, or dropping those speech you use when it comes to food. Okay, I'm eating this one now. It's cheat day, or saying, oh, after eating this one now today, I'm going to start watching my weight. Or every time you eat, you want to take an ice cream, you have to explain yourself why, I deserve this, I've dieted for a long time. If you want to take your ice cream, take your ice cream. If you want to eat your pizza, eat your pizza. If you want to eat it, eat it. But the truth, it boils down to, how do you really want to feel? Say you're coming of age and your body is not processing food as fast as when you were younger, not because of your old age, because seasons has changed for you. Maybe you're not moving as much, you're not as active, you're not as, how you were when you were younger. So it's gonna take time to adjust to the new taste of things. It's gonna take time to change your mindset. It's gonna take time to start to enjoy less sweet foods. Vegetables are yummy, but you would not know until you give yourself enough time frequently eating vegetables to allow your taste buds adjust again to vegetables. Because if you're always eating highly palatable food, your taste bud is not going to love it's not going to like vegetables, because it's not as spicy or as palatable or as really processed as the foods your taste bud is used to. And it's just the science behind it. It's not because you're the sugar person, it's just because you're not used to eating this kind of food. Your taste buds is like, this is not sweet, right? So it's gonna take time. You have to accept that it's gonna take more time. You're going to have days where you're like, I'm just going to go back to eating the way I was. I'm just going to go back to not exercising. Some days you do not want to move, right? What it does to you when you start to heal is that on the days you do not want to move, you can just gently forgive yourself for feeling that way and not feel bad for feeling that way and then remain that way. You're just going to be like, I'm human, it's okay to feel this way, and allow your feelings, allow you go take a walk. Don't try to force it and be like, oh, I'm still going to do those really hard ones and push myself just, to feel like, we are doing things. You're just going to allow yourself, take your time, go out, go on a gentle walk. And on the days you're really feeling it, maybe you've set your target of 2 times a week, I'm going to do strength training. Start with where you are. So healing takes time. It takes time. It takes constant self-forgiveness. It takes self-compassion. And when I say self-compassion, a lot of people think, okay, self-compassion, I'm going to be lazy. No, self-compassion means keeping yourself accountable. In my coaching program, we'll have a list of things we have to accomplish for the week. And there is 1 hour outside every day, there's gentle movement, there's resistance training, there's hydration, there's mindfulness, there's rest. All these things, when you start to practice these things daily, it's going to become a part of who you are, and you start to feel good, you're stronger, you have more energy, have more beauty in your life, you have a better quality of life. So it's going to take time. Another thing is that it requires constant work. I don't mean, it doesn't mean a lot of work. It requires constant work. It requires every day being really intentional about how you're eating, how you're moving, about your emotions. You're going to have to journal. You're going to have to make that decision and say, I'm not going to eat this. I'm going to have this instead. It's just that decision. A lot of times we overthink this eating behavior thing, right? You're like, oh, I'm on the diet, so I'm on a diet, so I'm going to not eat all those things, and all of a sudden you're like, let me start eating my meat pie, shawarma, drinks, and all of them. But you have to make that decision to say, how do I want to feel? Because if you think about it, constantly eating processed food is not healthy for your gut, and then maybe you're bloated, you're constipated, you're feeling sad, your hormones is not. I'm not going to go into hormones. Your hormones is not balanced, so you're not in the mood all the time. You have a lot of things is going on with you, but you don't understand why. Many of those things boils down to how you take care of your body, how much you're exercising, what foods you're eating, because your body needs the three macronutrients. It needs carbohydrate, fat, and protein. It needs fiber, and it needs your micronutrients. It needs your vitamins, that's from your fruits and vegetables, right, to really absorb these things. And if we go into digestion, is a whole other topic. So you need these things to really take care of your body, not because you want to lose weight just yet, just to understand what it feels like to take care of your body. And when you start to enjoy the feeling that comes with taking care of your body, weight loss comes. Weight loss becomes easier. You don't have to do it from a place of guilt. You don't have to do it from a place of restriction. You don't have to do it from a place of punishment and pain and self-hate. It has to come from a place of self-love, self-understanding, kindness. That is self-compassion, right? Self-understanding and common humanity, shared humanity, self-understanding. All these things comes together so you use a compassionate approach to healing. So it requires constant work. It requires constant decision making, telling yourself, okay, I'm going to make this decision to make available this food I would rather eat. So you make them available. You make your fruits and vegetables available at home, so you rather snack on them, right? So you have to start to look at how you're sleeping, how much food you're eating. Not about calories or anything. The quality of the food you're eating in this instance is what actually matters. When you focus on the quality of food, so there's this change that happens when you focus on the quality of food you're eating instead of the calories. And a lot of mistake we make sometimes is that we know the calories in food. We understand the amount of calories in the food, but we don't understand how the calories work in our bodies, or the amount of calories it takes to exercise, or the amount of calories, how it leaves the body, right? We know the calories in food, but we don't know how to balance our TDEE and the food intake and our expenditure. So that is all these things that when too much marketing information is there, we don't have the education to help us manage a healthy lifestyle. And a healthy lifestyle can do so many beautiful things for you. It's not just about exercising to fulfill all righteousness, right? Another thing is that it adds to your life. It doesn't take away from it. Unlike restrictive diet or over exercising or having a negative body image makes you withdraw from life. You don't have fun. You're not enjoying yourself. Your quality of life is reduced when you're restricting, when you're dieting. It takes away from your life. It doesn't add to it. So when you're healing your relationship with food, your body, and exercise, it adds to your life. It makes your life happier. It adds light to your life. It makes you happier. It makes you lighter. You start to feel good. You wake up lighter, more and more energized, right? You're eating. You can go out with friends and have fun and eat those foods that make you happy without feeling guilty. You can spend your Christmas holiday eating all the foods you love without feeling guilty. You can approach Christmas without feeling like you have to starve yourself, so you can spend 2 weeks with your aunties and your uncles without feeling like I'm the fat one, right? So yeah, so you have to learn to it takes healing to enjoy it as your life. It brings more glimmer to your life. It brings more glimmer to your life. It doesn't take your life. It makes your life better. It makes you feel better. It makes you feel better about your body, regardless of the size. This is not even a matter of size or shape or body weight. It's just you feeling good regardless of the size you're in. Right? And it allows for bad days. It allows you to have bad days. You're going to have days where you sit down and eat because your old habits wants to come to life. However, it allows for bad days. That is the part of self-compassion. This is the place for self-compassion. You forgive yourself and just get back to eating your regular food. You don't now go ahead to start restricting because you feel like I've wronged myself, I've wronged my generation, so I feel bad. I'm not going to eat for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to cut out all carbs. No. So healing your relationship with food supports you with finding joy, play, and rest. When you start to heal your relationship with food, it's not going to be all that, when it comes to exercise, I'm going to be serious, mean. There's no place for play. Healing your relationship with food sometimes requires you not exercising and just go out and play. Healing your relationship with food sometimes requires you to just allow yourself enjoy that cup of ice cream and enjoy every bit of it without feeling guilty or without checking out your stomach in the mirror almost immediately. You're thinking about it weeks later because you're trying to make up for it. You don't have to make up for the food you're eating. So that's what healing your relationship with food does for you first. And also it's important because it gives you a positive self-image. Restricting and cutting out food and punishing yourself every time leads to you having this low self-image where it's like you feel bad, you feel guilty for eating the way you're eating, you feel bad for the size of your body, you feel bad for the shape of your body. And it gives you a balanced approach to exercise. You have gentle movements in there, you have time for mobility, you have space for play, you have space for practice movements you enjoy. You get to move the way you enjoy and makes you feel good and powerful. Exercise makes you feel powerful. Ever done really, high intensity exercise because you're well nourished, your exercise feels really great. Unlike when you restricted yourself and then you try to exercise, you're going to feel horrible. You're going to feel bad. Like I told you earlier, I said I had not eaten and I went to exercise and I was almost dizzy. You're going to feel bad. So healing your relationship with food allows you to understand food, explore movement, find what works for you. And that in turn starts to build up your body image, starts to build your idea of what you can do because you're able to do so many things that you enjoy, you feel good doing it, you practice, you learn, you're feeling better, you're eating nourishing food alone does wonders to your mind, right? So healing looks different for everybody. It's different for everybody. I can tell you that, okay, I did this like this, I journaled every day, I studied this, or I take a walk outside every day. It looks different, and it looks different for every season of life you're in. You could be changing jobs, you're stressed out, you're tired, your boss is days at you, maybe you're giving birth, or maybe you're pregnant. It looks different for you. Your meal is going to look different. Your approach to allowing yourself ground yourself is going to look different. Maybe you love meditating, sitting down quietly. Maybe you love meditating, taking a walk. Maybe you love to dance. Maybe you love to play. Maybe you love to watch movies. It looks different for everybody. So you know how you manage your stress looks different for everybody, and it's different for you. So according to your personality, what's around you, your environment, the season of life you're in, your mindset, what you know, what you don't know, it looks different for everybody at different times. Also, healing your relationship with food brings you to your healthiest body composition. So if you've healed your relationship with food, or if you're healing your relationship with food, it's important to know that it's not a fat loss tool or a weight gain tool. It just brings you to your healthiest possible, your healthiest body composition. What this means is that your body has this set point is going to come back to. If you're eating healthy, you're not overeating, you're not undereating, you're eating your balanced diet, you're exercising, you're nourishing yourself well, you're sleeping well, your body is going to come to this place where it's like, maybe on the scale is 65. Tomorrow you check again, it's 67, it comes back to 65, it goes back to 68. You notice that it revolves around a certain number when you're not overeating or undereating, you're just living your life. That is your set point. But sometimes we are in this place and then we want to come down to 50 and your body is starving, and then you find out you will eat and then you come back to 70 and then your body comes back. Your body keeps fluctuating. But if you allow yourself, heal your relationship with food, you're going to come to a place where it's like, this is your healthiest body image, your healthiest body composition. You're sleeping well, you're energized. When you go to exercise, you enjoy yourself, you feel good generally. So you're healing your relationship with food. It's a holistic approach. It doesn't require a meal plan. It actually requires you exploring your food options, exploring different things to find what works for you. So it's really my passion to really help you understand what it takes to heal a relationship with food. For a long time, I've coached people on fat loss, on strength training, like do this to lose fat, be in a calorie deficit. All of those things. To lose fat, you have to be in a calorie deficit. However, one of the reasons you're not able to lose fat yet is because of the disordered way of eating. Maybe you binge sometimes, on the weekends you eat until you're really full, and then you start to restrict again, critically restrict to a point where it's like you're always so hungry, but you're proud to be hungry. Or you start to take a pill, detoxes and fat blockers. And there is a science behind why fat blockers work or carb blockers work. There are some things you take, your stomach would not really digest those or absorb the fat, and then you pull it out, but it's not healthy for your gut. It causes constipation, it causes diarrhea, it causes bloating according to how your body reacts to it. So it's really important to not take pills. It's really important not to take detoxes, because fibers in your food helps clean your colon, so you don't need those things. Right, so it's really my passion to really educate people on healing your relationship with food and transform your body image. Because if you're going through this route of restricting diets, detoxes, it's going to affect how you see your body and how you feel your body. And when your body image suffers, your approach to life suffers. Right, so it's really important to remember to be kind to yourself. Forgive yourself for the times you go back to your previous habits, and just get back to taking care of yourself, looking for the joys and glimmers in your life and the beautiful things you can look out to. I have a course on nutrition where you can learn more about food, what foods you can eat, what they do to your body, how it nourishes your body, and how you can apply it in your life, your day-to-day living, to start to feel to start to feel healthier, to start to feel better. So it's not about dieting anymore, it's about nourishing your body. And when you start to nourish your body, you see that your urge to eat those processed food starts to melt away. I was studying something about behavioral change when it comes to food. And this professor was really talking about it. I'm just going to look for it. He was talking about different levels of changing how we eat, what we eat, and he was talking about the first place. I think if I don't find it, I'm gonna make a special video on it just to find it. And it was a really interesting find. Just to help you understand the process it takes. It's going to be hard at first. At first, you will not have the knowledge of what to do when it comes to your relationship with food. You will not have the knowledge. But then you get the knowledge. But another thing is, you have to now apply the knowledge. So when you start to apply the knowledge, start to practice, before you know it, because you're practicing it, you become this knowledge you've learned, right? So he called it unconscious incompetence. Then now you're competent. Then with practice, you become consciously competent. And then as you progress, you become unconsciously competent. It's a really interesting find. Like, yeah, when you start to enjoy exercise, exercising becomes a part of you. When you feel tired, you're like, you really need to go outside. But you were practicing it earlier, setting your alarm to go outside every 4 p.m., just take a 30-minute walk. Before you know it, your body just wants to move because now you've become unconsciously competent. So I hope we get to this place where we are like, I crave vegetable. You always want to eat a vegetable. You keep it around, and before you know it, it's the way you eating, and then you taste the Fanta you used to drink before, and it's like, the sugar is too much because you're now used to this other way of eating. So I'm just trying to tell you that it takes time to heal, but with the knowledge you have now, you've become competent, and now let's walk towards becoming consciously competent, and then we get to this place where it's our lifestyle, and then we become unconsciously competent. And if at any time you need help with healing your relationship with food, building a healthy relationship with food, your body, and exercise, I'm always happy to have a chat. You can send me a message on Instagram at Change Movement. You can send me a message by clicking the link you'll find anywhere you see this video is going to be donated. If you're watching this on my website, that's awesome too. And thank you for engaging. If you got to this end, that is nice. That is nice. Just send me a message, relationship with food, and I'm always happy to chat. And have a nice day.